2 years in the military. We might also point out that while women are not conscripted, some do volunteer. Iran also has its special forces, from the Marines to its elite Quds Force and the Sabarin Takavar Battalion, a special unit of the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps. Okay, so what about equipment on the ground? Israel has a fairly modern and well-maintained bunch of machines. This includes 2,760 battle tanks, 10,575 armored fighting vehicles, 650 self-propelled artillery, 300 towed artillery, and 148 rocket projectors. We might add that part of this is the Merkava 4 main battle tank, which National Interest said in 2017 just might be the best in the world. We might add that National Interest says this about many tanks. What about Iran's tools of the trade? Well, the country owns 1,650 battle tanks, 2,215 armored fighting vehicles, 440 self-propelled artillery, 2,188 towed artillery, and 1,533 rocket projectors. As for tanks, National Interest talked about an Iranian tank that was, you guessed it, one of the best in the world. This is the Karar tank, which was made in Iran and is supposed to be superior to the Russian-made T-90. Iran has a number of older tanks that were made in the USA, the UK, and Russia. We might remember that Iran and the US used to be friends in the past, with the US actually helping Iran to kick off its nuclear program in the 50s. This assistance became known as Atoms of Peace, and yes, that was a term before it became the name of a band started by Radiohead lead singer Thom Yorke. We point this out only to let you know how fickle relationships can be, and so you never know. Maybe one day Israel might not be a demi-protectorate of the US. Compared to its land artillery, Israel's Air Force is quite small. It has 253 fighter aircraft and 252 attack aircraft. Israel has also spent big on 9 F-35s bought from the US, and also has over 70 F-16 Fighting Falcons. On top of that, they have F-15 Eagles and F-15 Strength. So, while small, there isn't much there that hasn't at one point been said to be a top 10 aircraft. Iran has an even smaller fleet with 150 fighter aircraft and 158 attack aircraft. Some of those were the ones given as a gift from the USA in a small fleet F-14 Tomcat fighters. Add to that some rather old American-made multi-role fighters in the McDonnell Douglas F-4 Phantom II and Northrop F-5 Tiger II. Perhaps the best aircraft Iran has is the Russian-made Mikoyan MiG-29 Fulcrum, as well as Russian Sukhoi Su-24s and 25s. In the water, neither country is very strong, with Israel having no aircraft carriers and not much of anything else. In total, the country owns no frigates, no destroyers, 3 corvettes, 6 submarines, 30 aircraft, and 0 mine warfare. Iran has more aircraft now, having a total of no destroyers, 5 frigates, 3 corvettes, 33 submarines, 230 patrol craft, and 10 mine warfare vessels. In numbers, we think that is far stronger than Israel. As for nuclear weapons, we will use a quote we have used before regarding Israel, written in 2017 in National Interest. It says that all you need to know, Israel does not confirm nor deny having nuclear weapons. Experts generally assess the country as currently having approximately 80 nuclear weapons. What about Iran? Well, that's the million-dollar question. CNN wrote this in 2018. Iran does not yet have a nuclear weapon, but does have enough low-enriched uranium for a single nuclear weapon. Then we had a report on June 4th in the British Sun that stated Israel intelligence agency Mossad had discovered documents in a warehouse in Iran that suggested Iran was on its way to making nuclear weapons. Depending on what news source you read, Iran has them already, will have them soon, or have some good to go, but in North Korea. The truth is out there, but we won't sit on it. So, who wins? Well, we have to give the edge to Iran. It's just a bigger military. We're not alone. Other pundits and teams also give the edge, stating that the country falls just outside the top 10 most powerful militaries in the world. In October 2011, U.S. intelligence operatives uncovered an Iranian plot of the Saudi ambassador to the United States. And just months prior, a Saudi diplomat working in the Saudi Arabian consulate in Karachi, Pakistan, was shot and killed by gunmen on motorcycles, later discovered to have direct ties to Iran's Revolutionary Guard. Since then, tensions between the two Gulf states have steadily been up, most recently boiling over into a proxy war in Yemen, with both sides backing opposite powers. And with many fearing all-out war is on the continent, who would be in the best position to win? That's what we'll explore today. In this episode of the Infographics Show, Saudi Arabia versus Iran. Iran is ranked as the world's second most powerful military, while Saudi Arabia lags far behind at number 26. First and most obvious advantage Iran holds over Saudi Arabia is manpower. With a population of 82 million, Iran has a potential manpower pool of 47 million, with 1.4 million youths reaching military age every year. Saudi Arabia, by comparison, is far less populated, with a total population of 28.5 million and a total potential manpower pool of 15 million, 510,000 youths reaching military age every year. Currently, Iran has 534,000 active duty personnel in the military and 400,000 reservists. Saudi Arabia's military only numbers at 231,000 and neither 25,000